Okay, so before we were talking about this amazing Italian 300 four-stroke dirt bike, trail bike thingamajob, and I told you how much I liked it and why I liked it and what's cool about it and what's not so cool about it and all those kind of things. So today I'm going to tell you about the upgrades that I've done. I actually used to work for a company called Fastway, and it was in Portland, Oregon. It's now in Idaho. It's part of ProMotoBillet. But I helped design those foot pegs and these hand guards and some other stuff, and they've uh, evolved that into even better products. And I'm all about control on a motorcycle. The first thing I do is I get tires, I get hand guards, I get foot pegs, I adjust everything. It's all about the ergonomics and control for me. So number one on my list that we're going to talk about is the Fastway EXT Evolution foot pegs. These have the extended little thing. I'll put some pictures right here for you. Uh, we're jokingly calling it the Tomac edition because this keeps your Achilles from getting popped when your toes are right here. Anyway, that's not why I bought it. I've never had that problem. I don't ride like that. It's not a problem. I do like the platform feel. I like the traction I get on downhills. I like the traction I get in whoops. It's just they feel great. But the big thing about these is the ultra adjustability. Um, they come with two different size grips, the screw-in grips, and these I like to run taller ones in the center and taller ones here because I like to feel this platform, and then shorter ones up front and right here so I can slide my foot off when I need to, and I can get to the shifter. And it almost makes a rocking motion because the center's a little bit higher than the middle, so you get a little bit of that. So when you're doing your brake or you're doing your shifting, so I love that feature. Probably the two of the biggest features is that you can locate the foot peg up or down in the mount, which I mean, it's only, I don't know what it is exactly. It's like an eighth of an inch, maybe. Uh, but it's amazing how much difference that makes in feel. Um, I'm running these in the standard high position. It just sets up good on this bike. Many bikes I run them in the low position, but it's super nice to have that adjustability. And then another big thing is the FKMS bolt on the bottom here where it contacts the frame. That allows you to set the angle of your foot pegs, and it's amazing how you can set it up, so it's up a little or down a little, and it gives you a totally different feel. If you like to slide your foot off a lot for corners, you can run them flat or maybe just saggy just a hair. But I like them flat or maybe just up a hair to keep me on the bike, keep my knees in. I'm a trail rider. I like to keep my knees in up against the bike when I'm standing up and have good control of the bike. And so I set mine up with a little bit of angle to it. Um, so that's the Fastway pegs. I love them. They're super durable, made in Boise, Idaho, by hardcore riders. Can't say enough good things about it. It's pretty much the first thing I do to any bike I get. Seems weird. Oh yeah, first upgrade foot pegs, but I've been using them for so long and I like them so much and they add so much to my riding and the control of the bike that it's pretty much the first thing I do. So moving on with the Fastway stuff is the handguards. And what I like about them, more pictures up here, is that they mount to the handlebar mounts. And this keeps your bars free from, a whole bunch of mounts and stuff going on here and trying to get around all your cables and your reservoirs and all that. It's very clean. I'll show you pictures of that so you can see it from better angles. But I love the design. I think they're very good looking, super clean. Again, made in Boise, Idaho. They're machinists there, and they're very good. Um, the bar end, it comes with a tap and the insert, which I love that system compared to the expanding bolt inside. It's just much more positive. It's a little bit harder to install. Yes, you have to tap the end of your bar, but it does come with the big tap. Throw some lube on there. You can screw it in with a crescent wrench if you need to, which I've done in the past, like on the trail when I've mounted them or whatever. So anyway, the screw in bar ends are really nice. Makes it really easy to take on and off. They're super solid. They're never flopping around or getting loose. Highly recommend these handguards and those foot pegs. Uh, Gas cap. This is off a DRZ 400. Seems to fit the SWM just fine. It's slightly loose, so I used the gasket that came with the stock gas cap and the gasket in here. So it's doubled up. And the reason was this would bottom out before it would get tight. Now it's perfect. It's easy to mount. And the reason I run aluminum caps, it's not for the bling. I'm not into that, but well, actually I am. I mean, there's other stuff that's blingy on this bike. But the nice thing about it is plastic caps on plastic tanks are always sticky. You grind them down, they stick. Aluminum doesn't tend to do that, so it's nice on and off. I really enjoy that. I like the short, stubby air breather. I know some people say those plug up and hydrolock, or vapor lock, but I've never had that problem. So anyway, I do that. Let's see. Next upgrade I did was the Motos tires, or Motos, or Moto Z, or 14 other ways you can say that name. Uh, I've known these guys for ages, and actually, back in the day, I was the very first Motos tire dealer. So I've had a long history with these guys. I have run other tires, in the recent past, some Golden tires. I kind of had a Shinko gig going for a long time. I actually love the Shinkos off road. They make a bunch of great off road tires. I recently kind of reconnected with the Motos guys, and I did the Tour Tech rally with them here a couple of days ago. And anyway, I got these tires off Brian from Motos, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. These are not really their off-road tires. These are their MX tires, which I've always preferred. The off-road tires are super durable. They're great for dual sport. They're great for a lot of things, but for extreme riding, like the Enduro series, I just find the carcass a little heavy for my needs. Oh, hey, look at that motorcycle going by. Dual sporter, cool. Probably coming down from Sugarloaf. So anyway, they had some new MXI, which is the MX version intermediate tire, and I installed those because I wanted to give them a try, and I've been super happy with them. They're crazy versatile. What is that? Air cooled DRZ and older gen DRZ, two DRZs. Oh no, the second one was a KLR. Anyway, got sidetracked. Look, shiny motorcycles. What's going on? So I tried these out. I had never tried them before. They were actually brand new. He had just got them in. He was suggesting the enduro tires because that's what they make for off road. And I said, hey, let me try those. And he said, oh, it'd be good to have some feedback on it. I've been using them. I probably have 400 miles on them, maybe, of all of single track or two track, all off road. Some rocky stuff, some sandy stuff, some muddy stuff. I'll put in a few clips of videos, and you've seen it from the other video. What do I like about them? First off, they're very predictable. They don't give way when I'm not expecting them to. They don't do anything I don't think they should. When they do start to slide, they do it very predictably, and that's a very important thing for me. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to be, oh, hey, I'm on my ass. I've had some tires where they feel great up to a point, and then they slide out and you're on your butt, and I don't enjoy that. So I gravitate away from those kind of tires. Um, anyway, these seem to get traction pretty much everywhere. I wouldn't say they're the ultimate traction tire for anything, but they're like 80% great on pretty much everything, which honestly is nice. I mean, when I'm traversing from dry ground to wet ground, I don't immediately get a little cautious about it. The more comfortable I become with them, I tend to just ride and kind of forget about the tires, which is what I want to do. In the winter, when it gets more slick and stuff, I'll probably try a different set of tires. They have a couple. I want to try the fatty front, ST front that they have, and maybe the hybrid rear gummy. So I'm going to try a few things this winter, but for right now, these have lasted really well. I've climbed chewed up rocky hills that I thought I'd get up there and see some pretty bad chunking, and there's some little slices in the knobs, but they've held up really well. Super happy with the tires. Um, what else have I done to this marvelous machine? Let's talk about this thing. This thing right here. No, it's not just a clutch cover. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff under here. Yeah, there is. And you know what it does? It makes your clutch automatic. What? Like an XR50. Turns this bike into an XR50. If you ever wanted a bike that turns into an XR50, then you put one of these in it. Now, really the reason I installed that, I've been riding for 45 years. I don't need an auto clutch. I'm great at running a clutch, and a lot of bikes I prefer not to have an auto clutch. This bike has an old school four stroke with quite a bit of compression braking and just like like smooth, deliberate power. And in the trails, uh, this Recluse offers me two things. One thing that I love, which I forgot about because I hadn't run one for a while, and I got it for this bike. On downhills, you touch the brake and you're freewheeling like a two-stroke. It's awesome. Then you can use the brakes. You don't have compression braking when you don't want it. If you want compression braking, you blip the throttle. Brrr, now you have compression braking. Works great. So you can choose between freewheeling downhill or using compression braking of your bike, which is extremely liberating once you've started using it and doing that and figuring out that you can do that. It's amazing. It's actually a game changer. It's awesome. This also means that you can't stall the bike. It's pretty much impossible to stall the bike. Log crossings, throwing it on the ground, whatever. The bike just sits there and idles. It's great. Um, Picking your lines down single track is amazing. Leave it in second or third, whatever the trail, or first, whatever the trail is dictating. And then you can basically just smash the rear brake and gas it all you want. So you can brake into corners and power slide out all in one motion with never touching the clutch. And once you get that rhythm down in the single track, I'm pretty sure I'm faster with the Recluse clutch through tight single track, just because all you're doing is picking lines and hitting the rear brake. You don't have to worry about stalling it. You don't have to worry about, coming out of the corner with a little too much throttle and letting the clutch go, and now you have to correct. It's just, especially with this motor, because it's so smooth to begin with, now it's like super smooth and you have all this control. And the way this thing uh, uh, engages the clutch because it's centrifugal and RPM based. It's just like perfectly smooth in an exact same spot every time. So it's crazy predictable. And on this bike, because the power on the bottom isn't like a 450 or something, it's pretty smooth out the bottom. You come in the corner, you can get on the throttle way early because of that smooth clutch and that smooth power, and you about halfway through the corner, you roll it on, and when you come out, you have a nice little smooth launch going every time, and you get this little flow going. And I just love that about this clutch. It works great on this bike, and it really fits this bike well, the whole nature of the smoothness and how it just flows. It's really a flowy bike on the trail, and this makes it like it takes that to another level. So really enjoying the Recluse clutch on this bike. And last but not least, my latest addition to this bike is this pipe right here. Had mixed feelings about it. I really like the look at the stock dual exhaust, to tell you the truth. Um, I like how quiet it is. I ride in a lot of places where I want my bike to be quiet, and I don't like loud bikes. They give me headaches. I don't like riding behind loud bikes. I don't like loud bikes. So anyway, I was hesitant to get this, but pulled one of the mufflers off, and as this is a 50 state legal street bike, it has to have catalytic converters, and really the only place on a dirt bike to put those is in the mufflers. So I pulled one of the mufflers off, thinking I wonder if I could decat it or whatever. Just for reference, I'm using this bike as a dirt bike. I've taken most of the street stuff off. I mean, the blinkers are still there. The headlights, I'm going to leave the headlight, obviously. But this is my dirt bike. I have a SWM 650 for my dual sport bike, so I don't need a dual sport bike. If I do put the plate back on this, it'll just be for running down the road a couple miles to hop into another trail. There's some places where I ride where to make a loop, you have to jump on some old country roads, which really you can ride without a plate anyway. Nobody cares. But I may put the plate back on for that. I don't actually ever plan to register this bike, so this is a dirt bike for me. So I'm outfitting it as a dirt bike, putting dirt bike tires on it, setting it up as a dirt bike, doing all those kind of dirt bike things. So part of that was this. And the main reason I did it is for weight and power. I know there's a lot of power to be had. Well, I'm going to find out. I actually haven't ridden it yet since I put it on here. I've started it, but I haven't ridden it. Um, so long story short, I took one of the stock mufflers off and was pretty amazed how heavy it was. And there's two of them and a crossover pipe and a bunch of stuff. So I'll weigh it, but I'm guessing, get away, mosquito. I'm guessing I've dropped 10 pounds, maybe more. I don't know. It's a ridiculous amount of weight that you drop just putting this exhaust on. Obviously, it makes it much more free flowing, so that should help. And then uh, you're able to get these remapped. I'll get that figured out at some point. I being careful with that because I know it's not legal on a bike that you have a plate on. I don't have a plate on this. I'm not going to register it, so that's not really a problem for me. But I know it's still, it's a dicey subject. So anyway, we may get into that in the future. We'll see. But this exhaust, the WRP exhaust, seems it's very nice, fit perfectly. This head pipe was super tight, but it was super tight getting the stock one off. So it's not a problem with this. It's a problem with the head pipe on the bike, which was a little bit off. So as far as fitment goes, this thing bolted right on. It's got the bung for the sensor. All the stock guards are have provisions to mount those. Came with all the hardware, all the springs, all the little circlip clips, the bolts, everything needed. Everything lined up perfectly. This lined up perfectly. It all lined up perfectly. Mounted right on as it should. Seems like very high quality stuff. Gonna go ride it here in a minute and find out if it's super awesome or ish. Super awesome. It's awesome. Should probably go ride this bike now. Well, holy crap. I was expecting it to be better, but OMG, man. What just happened? Okay, I'm somewhat in a state of shock right now. Oh my goodness. I just rode this beautiful beast here, and the pipe and the ECU remapping has completely changed this motorcycle from an amazing trail bike to just an amazing bike. This thing, I guess I'm just having a good day, but I instantly flowed on it. With that pipe and the ECU remapping, starts much easier, way livelier, way less compression braking. It shifts better, it's smoother. The bike feels so much lighter, like it feels 40 pounds lighter. I know it's not, but I think because of the location, that 12 pounds or whatever you lose, which is a lot, but it's hanging out there on the back. You know, it's the old pendulum thing. The further you get it away, the worse. This thing is a whoop king now. It just right through, leaving the staging area here, like any staging area. It's chopped up whoop, and it's silty and just decomposed granite. So it's like slick. So it's hard pack with decomposed granite whoops. I'll get some video. I can't believe I didn't bring my GoPro. I wasn't planning to do any of this today. I just, here I am doing it again. So anyway, I know I'm forgetting some things and I'm just raving because I just had a great time on this motorcycle, but this thing honestly is like one of my favorite bikes ever now. It is so easy to ride. It does exactly what you want it to do. It's super smooth. It has a great sound. It's really fun. It tracks perfectly. I did have to readjust the suspension. It was that much of a difference as taking those mufflers off, and now it has a lot more power. It has way more bottom end, way more mid range, and really good top end. It actually had kind of good top end before, but now it's quite a bit better. The whole bike is just, it went from, it took all the things I really liked about this bike and I was raving about before and just amplified them by like 30%, all the good things. It, I mean, it handles better. It runs better. It's smoother. It's more exciting to ride. I mean, there's zero downs. Oh, it is louder. It's louder. Although it's not like loud. So it's on the edge of being loud, but not loud. So I kind of like it. It's part of the fun. Like when you're going through the trails and burp, burp, bop, bop, and you can kind of hear it a little bit. Before it had a good sound, but only when it was really revving. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm so excited. Full of adrenaline rush. It's so fun. So this thing, if you want an awesome trail bike, get this, put all this stuff on it, and go embarrass your friends. Wait a minute. No, I just set myself up there. I won't be embarrassing any of my friends. I won't be doing that. Am I rambling? I am rambling. I'm going to go ride this thing. Yeah. Oh, and here's a little bonus material for you. Like I said, I was at the TourTech rally, and the guys at Trail Tech, which I used to work for, were right next to us, and started talking to my old boss, and he showed me one of their products, and I'd seen this on the web. I thought it was not silly, but I'm like, that's a funny product for Trail Tech. Now that I have one, I'm like, that's pretty cool, actually. It's your standard, cordless tire pump, but what's nice about it, it has aluminum case. It's got this really nice case, which is like $10 extra and well worth it, that holds all your accessories and everything. It's got a huge battery in it and charging ports and a flashlight. You can set up the pressure, so you just hook it on, hit the button, and it fills it up to where you need it. It's just really a nice setup, and another really nice thing about it is a 2-year warranty. So a lot of these are, cheap plastic crap and last, 4 or 5 tries and then they're done. This one has a 2-year warranty. It has aluminum case. It's a really nice screen. Let me see if I can turn this on. Oh, look, it says Trail Tech, yay! So anyway, pretty cool unit. Just thought I'd let you know about that. Oh my gosh, that was a close call. I almost forgot to tell you about the rim tape, the racing rim tape. Yes. Why do you put that on there, Kelly? Because it has black rims and I don't want them all scratched up. All right. Yep. Let's go ride. Let me keep talking about this silly bike.